Alrighty, welcome back to Blackphoenix Entertainment, and today I'm going to talk to you about another IT story. Let's check out that intro, and I'll see you on the other side of it. Alright, so it's been a while since I've done an IT story. If you're not familiar with what this is, basically I talk about how I've made the career change into IT, and talk about some of the fun stories that I've run into, and things, and people, and all that fun IT stuff. So anyways, I'm going to talk about the second contract I had, which is, I'm kind of going in a timeline here. Once all these videos come out, you kind of know it's a theme. For a major bank in Boston, Massachusetts. Major bank, multiple locations within the city and within the suburbs of the city, I believe. This was fun. This was going, how do I explain it? The commute was interesting because they would tell me which building to go to at the beginning of the day, and it's weird the way this is set up. There was an IT HQ, which was luckily in one of the closer cities to where I was commuting from. So that's where my desk was, and I say desk because I was only there one day out of the whole time that I worked there. Basically, they just had to have desks for people just to account for employees. I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but that's what they did. And then I worked in another building, mostly as part of the move team. And what the move team did, which was my primary job, would move people from floor to floor, or from desk to desk, or anything like that. The reason why they had an entire team to do this is they would do it at like 20, 50, or 100 people at a time. That's a lot. And if you're wondering, oh, well, it's just moving hardware and just putting it in a desk. No, there's a lot of other stuff in an enterprise environment that goes along with it. There's a lot of networking configurations. I think I'm going the wrong way. I wanted to take a right. Pretty sure. No, I wanted to go that way. Hold on. I'm lost.
Eventually.
Okay, we are back on track. This is what happens when I try to vlog and go down routes that I haven't been down before. So I wanted to give you guys some different scenery. So anyways, here we go. So anyway, the move team. There's a lot of networking that actually goes along with it in enterprise environments. Different subnets for different floors, different hardware, moving phones, stuff like that. So there was a little bit of lead work going into not just the physical moves. This was an interesting place. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't bad at all, really. Just so happens the year that I was working there was 2008. And for those of you that remember what happened to the banking industry in 2008, yeah, that was fun. So anyways, I was contracted for 6 months. I only ended up working 3 out of those 6 months because of a miscommunication and clerical error. Basically, I was replacing a guy that just left the job. They hired him first for the contract. He's like, I guess he worked 3 months and said, oh, this is enough for me, or he found something else. So I was under the impression that it was a 6-month gig because the application said that, the job, all that stuff, even the interview. So I was like, all right, cool. I got a job for 6 months. No, that was not the case. Even the manager that I worked under that hired me for the contract apologized to me. She was actually really nice about it. She's like, I'm sorry, it's not my call. I was hiring you under 6 months. You know, the people above me just said, no, we're only replacing a guy. So I get it. It's not on her. It was not just a miscommunication. As always, with upper management, because they are just spot on with their communications in any company. So there's that. Other than that, it was just me just working. There were some late nights and moves and stuff like that, but I learned a little bit. It wasn't great. I got to put in some networking things I learned in school and stuff like that. So it was all right for 3 months. The interesting part happened was when that whole crash, the banking crash happened with the real estate and loans and all of that. So that that is fun. So what happened with that? I was definitely affected. I think that was part of the reason why upper management was like, oh, it's only a 3-month contract. I think it was an out for them just to get out of my contract. But I showed up one day with the other two guys I was working with, and it was a ghost town. The actual manager of the building, see, this is weird. I had a manager that I reported to, but then each building for IT had its own manager that you would report to if you're working in that building. Totally convoluted. Weird. I get it. I understand that you have to have like chain of command and stuff like that, but it does get kind of weird sometimes because one day one guy would be your boss, the next day he's not. So anyway, so yeah, he was gone. And there was no communication whatsoever as to where he went. A couple of days go by, still nothing, and we started noticing more and more people gone. We're like, all right, this is weird. And then we finally start talking to some people in the know, and they're like, yeah, it's the whole crash, and they're cutting costs and all that. So it was dead. It was dead for, I would say, 3 weeks. Like the last 3 weeks I was there. No, they weren't doing moves. They weren't doing anything. And I was just like, all right, well, I'll sit here and soak up my contract. That is one thing I miss about contract jobs. They are specifically written out. Whereas this is your job. This is what we're paying you to do. Anything outside of that, I actually don't have to do. And you can give me crap for it, but guess what? You specifically wrote down this is what you're paying me to do. So, yep, just sat there, waited out my contract. The cool thing was, and again, this lady was awesome. She's like, you can start looking for another job you want to take. We'll pay you throughout. She basically said, I'm going to pay you throughout your contract whether you're here or not. If you want to just like leave early, not come in, go look for other jobs, go interview, go do your thing. So that was really cool, and I still appreciate that to this day because you don't get a lot of managers like that, and it's something that's missing in upper management and management CEO's position is just being human and just being a real person. And I think that's a reason why I clash with them so much, but I think that's another vlog entirely. So the other thing about this job is, like I said, there was travel between sites. That was interesting. If at the beginning of the day, let's say I went to one site and there wasn't all that much to do or whatever, or I was getting called to another site or something like that, depending on where it was, I could drive between 1 or 2 sites. Other than that, if it was deep into Boston, like downtown or Chinatown or anything like that, I had to take the train. And that was fun because that was not part of the contract, and I was really, really pissed off about that. Parking and stuff like that was not part of the contract. I'm like, I'm working in goddamn Boston, and you're not going to pay me, even as a contractor, for my parking and train passes and stuff like that. So I did that to a bare minimum. I was like, I am not going unless you 100% absolutely need me. And I'm sure some of you are probably like, well, Ryan, that's kind of a jerk move. Maybe it is, but do you really want to do things that you're not getting paid to do? And the other thing is, that takes time. God, if you're dependent on that train to get in downtown Boston, you're like, yeah, okay, I'll be there in 2 hours for a 5-minute fix because no other guy is either A, available, or B, wants to do it. I mean, go figure. Again, you want to pay me, fine. I'll take the money, I don't care. But it's just really, really weird stuff sometimes. So that's it. Nothing super exciting or spicy or anything like that happened on that one. It was just interesting getting used to a giant banking corporation and how they do things. So if you like what I'm doing, if you like these stories, go down in the comments, let me know that you like it. Let me know that you want to hear more, because I've got plenty more. And yeah, check out all the other cool stuff I got going down there. I got discount codes and all that fun stuff for you guys. Check out my Lunafide link there. You guys will appreciate what's there. Trust me. Go check it out. But anyways, it is now that time. So without further ado, I must bid you adieu. So goodbye and good night.